Hey, Vlad here, devinsider.com. In this video, we're going to configure Ubuntu. I made a video last week about how to install Ubuntu in a virtual machine, which is what I have over here. Let me maximize it. So I figured there are a bunch of videos out there how to install Ubuntu, and I also figured that most people are on Windows. So even though you might be switching to Ubuntu, it might be hard to figure out where all the bells and whistles are and how to install tools and so on. I might even record an extra video after that with a minimal Ubuntu tutorial for programmers. So today we're just going to play around with the settings, install a few tools. I'm planning it to be a very short video, maybe half an hour tops. But usually when I have plans like this, the video ends up being an hour long. So let's see. All right, so first of all, what we're seeing over here is Unity, and as I mentioned in my previous video, Unity is pretty much dying. So Unity is a graphical interface that Ubuntu is using, but people didn't really like it, so Canonical decided finally to switch back to the more traditional, I believe it's called GNOME interface in the next version, which is 1804, which is going to come out in April 2018. So still, this is Unity, and we're going to configure it a little bit, even though it's going to die. So on the left, we have the Unity launcher, and we can move the icons around, which is not something easy to do if you just try to do it. So what you need to know is that you need to long press on the icon, and then it's going to get detached like this, and then you can move it around. And also with right click, we're going to unlock it from unlock things from launcher. Like for example, we don't need I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that or that. I like a very minimalistic approach. I even don't like that. And also there's a CD with the VirtualBox Editions plugin that we install. So first of all, I'm going to inject the CD, and it's just going to go away. Okay, so the next thing, this is, I believe it's called Dash. So if we click on here, then we still have all of these applications over here. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to go to settings, and we're just going to go through all of them and see what happens. Appearance. All right, so over here you can change the size of the launcher. I usually keep it at 48 because I don't really mind, but if you don't have enough space, then you can minimize it a little bit. Wallpapers, I'm not going to change it now, or will I? Actually why not? Pictures folder. So there's nothing in the pictures folder, and the pictures folder is over here. So all I need to do is I need to put a picture that I want to have as background into that folder, so that it would show up over here. Let's go to computer, media, where my hard drive is, and let's see, over here, documents, then inside you, banner, that one. I just double clicked on it to check that it's the right one. So Control C and go into pictures, paste, and now if we refresh, maybe need to go out, go back in, pictures folder, there we go, over there. I believe we could have also right click and click set as wallpaper. All right, in any case, we got the wallpaper now. If you go to behavior, there's actually something useful which is called Workspaces. I love Workspaces. I always enable them. Add show desktop icon to the launcher. No, I don't want that. Menus display on mouse hovering. Yeah, so these menus over here, only when I hover they're displayed. Show the menus for a window in the menu bar or in the window title bar. So like this, these menus can be there or they can be there. It's traditional in Ubuntu to display them over there. All right, let's go back. Oh yeah, so Workspaces, they allow you to change workspaces like that. So move things around, and also if I press Control Alt, I can jump to this one, this one, this one. Yeah, you can just jump around. So what I would usually do, I would have a terminal on one of them, then my editor on the other one, maybe a second editor on the third one, maybe like the browser in the fourth one. You can also customize it. You can have like 8 workspaces, and multiple workspaces on different screens or same workspaces on different screens, whatever. All right, so the next thing is brightness and lock. I don't like it when it turns off, when it's inactive. I like to be in control, so I'm just gonna say never lock. Require my password when waking up from suspend. Well, it's not gonna suspend, but if it did, sure, why not? Language support, checking available. All right. So yeah, whatever. Let's install everything. Install password. Sure. It should go really fast. Like, I don't know. It's just downloading some languages. Yeah, whatever. In the meantime, we just keep going to online accounts. Not really sure what that is. Don't care. Close that one. Security and privacy. Yeah, we can require my password when yes. Return from blank screen. Not entirely sure what that means. Don't know that. Don't know that. Don't know that. Again, this is not going to be well, not really. Again, I haven't said it so far, so I don't plan it to be like a proper configuring Ubuntu tutorial. I just want to show you a few places where you can play around, how to install a few tools. This is not a Linux channel. This is a channel for developers. So I'm just going to show you like the minimum of what you need in these 3 videos. Right. Text entry. It's English. Whatever. By the way, the language is over here. Bluetooth, don't care. Color. Display. Notice that with virtual machines, when you change the size of the virtual machine, it actually changes the resolution. See? So let's close it like that. See, change the numbers. What else? Sticky edges is only useful if you have multiple monitors, and then I advise to turn it off. Scaling, don't really care. All right, so keyboard, don't know. Shortcuts. Oh yeah, so there's a default shortcut, Control-Alt-T, to open a terminal, and it's over here. What I like, I don't know why, I like to have things in full screen. So what I want to do is I want to have it open in full screen always. So I'm just going to go to custom shortcuts and I'm going to add one. And the name is going to be terminal full screen. Not sure if I can use spaces. I probably can. And the command is going to be gnome-terminal, which is the name of the application. So if I open the terminal and I type in gnome-terminal, hold on, let me make it smaller. I don't know why it's so big every time. So if I press that, it's going to open another one over here. And if we open it with a parameter of full screen, it will open in full screen. Okay, and that's exactly what we want to have here. Full screen, apply. All right, there we go. So now we actually have to click on disable. We can't click over here because it's just going to do that. We have to click on over here, and now we can say Control-Alt-T, and it says that it's already used. Do you want to reassign or cancel? I want to reassign. All right, and now we have pressed Control-Alt-T. It should open full screen. Cool. All right, let's keep going. What do you have here? Network. I don't know. Doesn't matter. By the way, network is shown over here. You see that it's wired connection. It's the wired connection of the host. So it shows it over here as well. Power. Yeah, don't suspend. I don't like it. Don't suspend. Show battery status in the menu bar when battery is present. So I'm on a desktop PC, so I don't have a battery icon over here. What else? Printers, sound, don't really care. Wacom tablet. Oh yeah. Oh, I was about to say that I don't know what they are, but I actually considered buying one of them recently to record some tutorials. We'll see. Maybe I will buy. Backups. Details. Yeah, so over here you can change the name of the device. It shows you how much memory it's using right now. It shows the CPU. It's interesting. It's the CPU of the host, but it shows only as many cores as I gave it over here. Settings, system, processor, 4 cores. I gave it 4 cores, so it shows 4 cores. All right, it's a 64-bit OS type, and I gave it maximum of 2 terabytes, which I don't even have on my physical drive. Default applications, don't really care right now. Removable media, legal notice, yeah. All right, so time and date, what's Berlin? No, everything is fine. Yeah, weak numbers. No, they're not okay. All right, so universal access. No, it's all good. User accounts. All right. Okay, so I believe we're done here. What I've forgotten is, like, usually when I boot my computer, I just always check for updates, because on Ubuntu, the way updates in Ubuntu work is that it actually doesn't only download the updates for your system, it actually downloads the updates for most of your applications, similar to how Android works, or iOS. This idea of the stores, Play Store, or iPhone Store, or whatever it's called. This idea is ancient. This idea of the repositories that have been in Unix/Linux systems since forever. All right, so let's just install whatever it downloaded. What did it download? I don't really know. Should be just a few seconds, because I just recorded the other video a few days ago. Anyway, while it's downloading, we're going to open the terminal, and I'm going to minimize it for now. I mean, I like to have it in full screen, but for tutorials like this, I just want to show it over here. So if we right click and we go to profiles and go to profile preferences, over here we can change many things, and I usually change quite a few things. All right, so like usually when I'm not recording tutorials, I don't use the custom font, right? I use it like that. So for tutorials I use 28. Command, run command as a login shall no, custom command instead of my shall no. Colors. Yeah, so colors, I prefer to use green on black. Why is it green on black? No, I want a white on black, and sorry, on white on black, and over here I like to choose Xterm. All right, so use transparent background. Sure, a little bit, not too much though. That's too much. Like that, just a little bit. Why not? Scrolling, I don't like to show the scroll bar, because you use the mouse wheel. Scroll on output, no. Scroll on keystroke, yes. Limit scroll to, yeah, you want to have a very high number here, as much as you can. Actually, don't even limit. Perfect. Compatibility, it's all good. All right, so now if I close it, I press Ctrl-T, maximize, and it's my colors. Like that. Yeah, all right, so it looks cool. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to install a tool called Indicator Multiload, and this is a tool which will show us what the CPU is doing, what RAM is doing, what the hard drive is doing, and so on. And the way you install things on Linux is there are many ways. One way is to download a so-called Debian package. And it's similar to an exe file. You just not to an exe file. It's similar to an MSI file. They installer on Windows, and very often these packages are also hosted in those repositories. As I mentioned, similar to Android stores and iOS stores. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to run a command as a super user. So this stands for super user do, so do as a super user. And again, I'm probably going to make a minimal Ubuntu tutorial in the next video. So we need to add a repository first. So we need to say add -apt -repository, and now the name of the repository, and they always start with PPA colon, and in this case it's indicator multiload /stable/daily, and my password. All right, just press enter. Okay, so it says imported one, so I guess it's good. All right, so usually after you add this repository, you want to update the cache. So update, there we go. So these repositories, they have lists of applications and their versions, and what happens usually is that this list is checked every time I think you start up, and then these lists are copied. So whenever you're searching for an application, you're actually searching locally. So for example, if I say sudo apt-get install and I want to install Vim, I could type vi and then I can press tab, and it should tell me, maybe I have to press it twice. Yes, twice. So it says display all 127 possibilities. So it didn't just go online and search for it. It looked in my local cache. So I'm just gonna say no. So what we just did, we updated the cache. All right. So the next thing that we need to do is to actually install it. So we're not gonna install Vim. We're going to install indicator multiload. All right. So it's installed. It took just a few seconds, and we could start it from here. Actually, let's do that. Hold up. I'm gonna have it full screen. So if we type indicator -multiload, we have actually auto completion, and we use this symbol which allows it to start in the background, and we'll click on that, and it's over here. It's barely visible, but if we right click on that, we go to preferences, and we say show me processor, memory, network, swap space, load, hard disk, everything, and also change the scheme to traditional. Hold on, what else is there? Radiance? No. Ambience? No. XOS view? Yeah, I actually kind of like that, XOS view. So when we hover over here, so the first one is the CPU, then the memory, then the network, then the swap space, and the general load, and the hard drive, right? So hold on, network was, which one? Which was the network? The third one. So the network is somewhere here. So when we're going to install the next tool, which is going to be Sublime Text, let me do that. So the way we install Sublime is a bit different. Let me paste that in. So there's actually, I'm not going to paste that in. Hold up. So there's an app called wget, which stands for web get. It used to be called differently. I don't remember what it used to be called. And we say quietly, which means it doesn't show a bunch of output. And I believe this stands for override. And then hyphen, I'm not sure why we need a hyphen, https:// download, I can't type, download.sublimetext.com/sublimehq hyphen pub.gpg. So we're adding this key to our local, like that. It says okay, so I guess it was fine. And you see this network spike. This is what I wanted to show you. In fact, hold up. So apt-get install apt transport https, which is a package that Sublime needs. So if I'm gonna press enter, we should see the network over here. Oh, it's already installed. All right. So then we're going to put that string dbn https:// what is it? Yeah, download.sublimetext.com/apt/stable/, and we're going to put that, we're going to pipe that to the t command, which is going to attach that string into etc apt sources.list.d/sublime-text.list, and that should trigger something. No, that shouldn't, because we're not actually downloading anything. All right, so but update should, right? Update again, and we should see some network action over there. Come on, it was so fast. All right, so I guess once we install it, so the apt-get install Sublime Text. All right, there we go. There's a little bit of a spike, just a tiny bit, and there we go. Okay, so now we also have Sublime Text. So before we continue, I'm going to click over here and say startup application, and see, it already loaded the system load indicator. I didn't know that it would do that. I thought that I would need to add it. In any case, if you want to add your own applications, just click it here, add name command, no comment. That's it. All right, so now we also have Sublime Text. So if we go to here and type in Sublime, we should see it, and we can just bring it over here, and now we have Sublime Text. Clicking, opening, there we go, Sublime Text. All right, which is my favorite editor, which is why I showed you guys how to install it. if you want to install Atom or Visual Studio Code, it's very similar. You just add some keys, some repository, update the cache, install it. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to install a bunch of tools that I consider first of all kind of useful for like general development. We're not going to install like any languages or anything, but like tools that surround language development. Like Git or Mercurial, or editors like Vim or Emacs. So we've already seen how to install things, right? So it's sudo aptget install. Actually, let me press, if I press Control L or I type clear, same thing. It's just gonna scroll down and put the first line over here. So if I scroll up, the stuff is still over there, right? It just put my cursor over here. All right. So if I say sudo aptget install, they can start installing things. And I'm going to install Git, and I'm going to install Mercurial, which are version control tools. And I'm also going to say, actually, we haven't seen the -y yet. Let's see. Okay, so occasionally for tools it says after this operation some space will be used. Do you want to continue? And you say yes. And come on, should be really fast. There we go. All right, so we could have done also minus y over here, not after install. I believe after install it doesn't work, because after install it actually expects the names of the applications. But if we had done that, then it wouldn't have asked us this question. It would just answer with yes to everything. Okay, so let's just check. I believe we can say git --- version. Also git -v. No, -v is not possible. Anyway, git version worked. Mercurial is hg version. Yeah, that's a pretty standard thing. Okay, so -v also didn't work. All right, so the next thing is Vim and Emacs. aptget install. Let's actually do this -y thing. Vim, Emacs. I've never used Emacs. And I'm also not an expert in Vim, and I have no idea why I just stepped in Git. It should be sudo aptget. Right. It doesn't like -y because I forgot to install. All right. So aptget -y install Vim and Emacs. There we go. Come on, they're not that huge. All right, there we go. So let's see. So I'm in my home folder. I'm just going to create a folder called temp, and I'm going to switch into temp. And over here, I'm going to create a file, hello, and we're just going to type hello world, and we're going to store it. And the file is now over there. And if we cat into it, we'll see that it's actually in there, and now we can remove it. I've never used Emacs, but basically Emacs is installed. I'm not sure if I can do Emacs version. Yeah, so it works. So it's GNU Emacs 24.5.1. It's probably the same thing works for Vim version. Okay, something came back, so I think it's gonna work. Well, and we just used it already. So what else is there? All right, Hstop. So there's a cool tool called Hstop. Again, aptget -y install Hstop. And I'm gonna go in full screen again. So if we type in Hstop, now we see all the processes that are running. We see our cores. We see the used memory over here. We see the average load. We see for how long we have been running. How many tasks are running. Tasks are processes, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. What I don't like about Hstop is that in the beginning it's jumping around a lot. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to press F4 and to change oh no, it's not F4. Hold up. Done. No, sort by F6, and just sort by something else, usually like command. So now it stopped jumping around. And also the other thing is that by default Hstop shows the threads and not the processes. So for example, there's this VBox client, and it shows like it shows threads. Hold on. By the way, you can use the arrow keys to go down and up, and also left and right. Okay. Let's see. Let me find something that's actually running. Multiple ones. Well, it doesn't matter actually. So you see like multiple lines that sort of look the same. So if you press F2 and go to setup, we can go to display options, go to right. We can enable the tree view actually. Let's do that just to. I don't enable it usually, but it shows the threads like this, like a tiny tree. But I usually don't do that. Let's go back to setup, display options, not a tree view. Shadow other users processes, sure. Hide kernel threads, yes, but also hide user line process threads. Display threads in different colors, show custom thread names, sure. Show program, highlight program base name, yes. Detail, no. All right, so now we see less repetition. Okay, less because we didn't see the threads. All right, and that's the only changes that I make it. And if you want to kill an application, let's open another terminal. And I'm gonna minimize it. I wanted to minimize it, but somehow I lost it. All right, so it's over here. Actually, that's a good thing to show you the workspaces. Let's click over here and just put this one on the right one and this one on the left one. And now I can have this one in full screen, and I can switch to the other workspace and have this one in full screen. Okay, so over here, I'm gonna go back to the temp folder, and I'm going to start Vim, blah. Okay, so Vim is running. So if I go back to my workspace over here and I press F3 and I search for Vim, and it found it over here. It's kind of hard to see, but it highlighted this line. So if I press enter and then I press space, it actually marked this line. So if I go up and down, you see that it's marked with yellow. And now I can press F9 over here, F9, and now I can kill it by sending it one of these commands. And this command is signal termination, and this one is the hardcore just freaking kill it. Okay, so if I press enter over here, actually before I do that, let me bring it in and let's see what happens. I'm gonna bring it, hold up, I need to exit the full screen over here. Just gonna do that. All right, hold up, like that, and like that. All right, so as soon as I press enter, it should kill Vim. Let's see what will happen. See, it says killed, and now we're not in Vim anymore, and this file doesn't even exist. There's this blah swap file that has been created because Vim didn't exit properly, and it's a binary file, so we can't even look into that. Let's just remove it. Remove. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna close that one now. Maximize that one. F10, let's see exit. All right, so usually you just go around, and with space you mark the applications that you want to kill, then you go to F9 and you just kill it. All right, so but as of right now I'm just gonna quit. All right, so the next thing on the list is Mosh. I'm going to install it, but I'm not going to show you how to use it. So Mosh is an alternative to SSH, and SSH is a tool where you can connect to another terminal which is running on a different machine. Usually it's some server. Mosh is a version of it which stands for mobile shell. So SSH stands for secure shell, and Mosh stands for mobile shell. And what it does is it goes to the server machine. It installs a tiny little client. And then what it allows you to do is that when you lose the connection, the client is still alive. So the next time you want to restore the connection, you're gonna start over exactly where you left off. So basically, you have this feeling that you don't even notice that the connection is gone if it just happens for a few seconds. Obviously, the way you install it is just by typing, as always, install Mosh. There we go. And I forgot the -y, so it's probably going to ask me if I want it. Oh no, okay. Maybe it just asks for big ones. Right, so also there are tools like zip and unzip. aptget install, I always forget this -y. -y install zip and unzip. Right, and it turns out that they were already installed. So if we have a file, let's just touch blah. So we have this blah file, and also let's touch oink. So we have two files, and now we can create a zip file by saying zip. We give it a name, name.zip, put in blah and oink. So now it's zipped over here, and let's remove blah and let's remove oink. So now we can say unzip name.zip, and here they are again. All right, and let's remove everything in that folder. as of right now, this video has been already for half an hour, and I'm actually almost done. What I will do now is I will install an alternative terminal that I really like. You can stop watching over here if you find with a regular terminal. You know, any Unix or Linux terminal is better than, you know, the most powerful shell on Windows, as I already mentioned in the video about operating systems. In any case, I like Quake, and the name of Quake comes from the game called Quake, and in Quake you can open the terminal, which sort of comes down from the top, and you can type in your commands. So this is the same idea. The idea is that the terminal is sort of always running in the background, and then you press F12 and then it comes back where you left off. So the way we install it is just by saying -y install Quake. So what's happening is that most like developer tools, most like, you know, Unix tools, they are in the default repositories, but some tools, you know, like Sublime or Atom or VS Code or, you know, this indicator Multiload, they're hosted by someone else. For them we needed some extra steps, but most tools, this is how you install them. Okay, so Quake is installed now, and we can also actually now I can show you how to do the startup thing. So startup, we're just going to add name Quake, command Quake, and that's it. Add. So now every time I'm going to start, Quake is going to be running. Quake terminal. It says Quake terminal is running, and this is what we would see. You know, every time the VM is going to start, it's going to start Quake. So now if I press F12, it's coming down like in the game called Quake. And what I usually do, the first thing is, so first of all, F11 is full screen again. Okay, you just right click and we go into preferences, because we love preferences, and there are way more preferences because it's a custom thing. Show tray icon, not really. Don't know, no, not really, because, you know, it's always going to be running. Main window, stay on top, nope. Hide on lost focus, yes. Show tab bar. I actually don't like the tabs in Quake. It's not that I don't like them. I use another tool that runs inside of the terminal, inside of Quake. It's called Biable, which is what I'm going to install in a few minutes, and it has its own tabs. So that's why I'm not going to show the tab bar. Start in full screen, yes. Use VT titles for tab names. I have no idea what it's doing. Height, whatever. Width, whatever. Custom command file path, nope. Prompt on close tab, never. Always prompt on quit, nope. Placement, appear on mouse display. All right, that's for multiple displays. It will appear either on mouse display, or you can choose, you know, on which display to appear, because remember, it always appears like out of nowhere, right? Place tabs on top. Again, I'm not going to use tabs. All right, shell, run command as login shell, not now. Open new tab in current directory. Sure. Scrolling, show scroll bar, nope. Scroll lines as much as we can. Scroll on keystroke, yes. Appearance, same thing. It's going to be 28. All right. Monospace, cursor shape, I-beam, allow bold font, sure. Again, wow, so many more. Wow. What just happened? Why is it so wide? In any case, oh, probably because it uses the 28 thing now. Transparency, hold up. It goes away. Okay, this is more transparency, this is less. Okay, just a little bit, like that. All right, Xstorm, quick open, shortcuts. Oh yeah, because I don't like tabs, we need to remove some shortcuts. Like this one, rename current tab, because this is also hold on, let me press escape. Control F2 is a shortcut that is used in Bible all the time, which is why I'm going to remove it. To remove it, I press my mouse and then I press backspace. It says it over here. So what else? Control Shift T, blah. No, everything else is fine. Compatibility, okay, fine. All right. So if I close it now, I just press Control D, so now it's closed. So now I'm going to start it. Why doesn't it show me? What's happening with the colors? Preferences, appearance, monospace, I-beam, Xterm. Is that what I want? Font and background color from palette. I don't remember removing that. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we have Quake. So now every time I press F12, it just comes back. So if I type something, even if I don't press Enter, I press F12, I do something else, I press F12 again, and now it's here again. Okay. Right. So the next thing that we're going to install, and by the way, we still have the regular terminal. So what I would usually do is, hold up. What do we have in Workspaces? So usually I come to the left bottom to the bottom left workspace, and I open my regular terminal over there. And over here I usually run my server, because usually, you know, at work I'm running service was, you know, we have a web platform at work, and on my top right I have Sublime, which I just clicked on, and it's usually also in full screen. I like to have things in full screen. So you know, I type something in, and then I open Quake, and then, you know, I let it compile stuff, and then I switch back to this other workspace, and then I say, you know, start my web server. So I use both terminals. Okay, let me close all of that stuff again. All right, and also notice that Quake doesn't care about workspaces, so it doesn't matter if you're here or if you're here. Anytime you press F12, it's just going to be there, which is kind of cool. All right, so the last thing that we're going to install is Bioboo. So the way we install it is big surprise, like that. Like that, Bioboo. All right. Oh, by the way, Ubuntu comes with Firefox, and if you want to install Chrome, you just Google Chrome, say install, and it's going to download the Debian package. You double click on it, and maybe we're going to do it in a few seconds. All right, so Bioboo is installed now. So I believe all I need to do is to go to Preferences over here, and here say run command as a login shell, right? And also I need to type Bioboo enable. Bioboo, I don't remember the last time I did this. Enable, right? Now it says the Bioboo window manager will be launched automatically at each next login. To disable this behavior later, just run Bioboo disable. So basically, if I turn it off, the next time I'm going to run it, it's going to do that run command as a login shell, so it will automatically run Bioboo. Let's hope that it actually works, and there we go. This is Bioboo. I hope I pronounced it right, by the way. It says, welcome to the light, powerful text window manager Bioboo. You can toggle the launch of Bioboo at login with Bioboo disable and Bioboo enable. For tips, tricks, and more information, see bit.ly Bioboo help. All right, so we have some special terminal here, and usually I install ZSH, but in this case I'm not going to do that. So what we have is we have this cool bar. This is what we have, and the first thing we need is to configure it. So if we press F1, we go into this configuration thing, and I go to first of all, I like to go to change escape sequence, and I change it to Control B instead of Control A, because I sometimes use Control A for other things. And we're going to toggle status notifications, and these are like those things that we can enable and disable. So let's see, CPU count, don't really care. CPU frequency, don't really care. Date, sure. Fan speed, host name, IP address, I like the IP address. Load average, don't really care. Logo, I believe it's that thing over here. What else? Mail, memory. No, we already have this indicator at the top. Network, processes, RAID. I don't have RAID. Reboot required. Sure. Releases. I believe it's this version over here, 1604. Let's not have it. Services, session. I believe this shows how long when it start the virtual machine. Sure. Time. Yeah, time is never bad. Time UTC, if updates are available. Uptime, oh no, that's uptime. Then I have no idea what session is. Let's remove the session. Who am I? Wi-Fi quality. All right, so now we need to press right, and it jumps to the apply. Press enter, and there we go. By the way, remember in the previous video I said that the IP address is always 10.0.2.15. There we go. So yeah, now we just exit by pressing escape. Right. By the way, if you type in ifconfig, you will also see the 10.0.2.15 over here. All right. So what I like about Bible is that if you press F2, it just creates another tab, right? And Control D just closes the tab. So the tabs are shown over here at the bottom. So F2, 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 it just created a bunch of tabs, and Control D just closes them. And another thing is that if I press, instead of pressing F2, if I press Shift F2, it does this. And then if I press Shift F2 again, it's gonna split them. That's horizontally, right? Yeah, I believe that's that's horizontal. Yeah, so it splits them horizontally. And if I press Control F2 instead of Shift F2, it splits them. Oh yeah, so this is exactly why I wanted to disable the Control F2 over here. Keyboard shortcuts of Quake. Let's disable that, right? And if I press Control F2, yeah, it splits them vertically. And the way you switch between them is you hold Shift and then you just use the arrow keys. And the one that is underlined is the one that is used. So now I'm here, now Shift down, I'm here, Shift down, I'm here, Shift right, I'm here, and so on. Yeah, that's about it. So Control D closes them again. So all of this runs in one tab, right? Which is kind of cool. And this is basically why I use Bible. It also has a bunch of other things, but they don't really matter right now. So yeah, that's why I run Bible. And what else? What else do we have? Actually, I believe we're pretty much done. Let's just install Chrome because we can. Right, click. Come on. Why aren't you doing that? All right, there we go. Let's go to Firefox. Let's just say that we prefer Chrome. There we go. Welcome to Fire. That's actually kind of cool. There's a fox. That's cool. Private browsing. I don't know. All right. Yeah. Okay. So go to Chrome. Just type in Chrome and see what happens. Chrome. I'm in Germany, so it's gonna show me this. Is there like something like Chrome.com, Google.com, Chrome index? That's what I need. Download Chrome. Acceptance. Yeah. So see, 64-bit Debian package for Debian Ubuntu. Accept, install. I believe we can just open it. We don't even have to save it. Okay. As you can see, this is just a Debian. No, actually, let me save it. Let me save it. And I'm going to open over here, open downloads. Again, this is not a Unix tutorial, but you can just double click on that. But if you want it to do in the terminal, you can go into, so if we're in the home folder, you go into downloads, and now you can just say sudo debian package install, and what's it called, Google something, so just gtab, install that, and password, unpacking Google Chrome. And by the way, because it's a Debian package, the updates are downloaded automatically. In fact, I'm not sure if that's true. I don't think this is true for all Debian packages. I believe that usually when you install Debian packages, it also installs this repository, right? All right, guys. So what happened is that I totally ignored all these errors. You know, I did not assume that installation of Google Chrome would show me so many errors. So I just kept talking, and then I started Chrome, and it actually started. But then I realized that after rebooting the virtual machine, I did not even have a network, and I tried to fix the issue, but I couldn't. So what I ended up doing is I removed my entire VM, and then I installed it again, and then I suspected that it was because of Chrome, so I installed everything again. It took me like 25 minutes to configure everything. And then I did another backup before I installed Chrome, and then I installed Chrome, and I saw this, and I was like, how awesome that I'm in a virtual machine and it's so easy to do backups, right? Okay, so all we need to do here is, it says that this package over here is not installed, and when we try to install it, let's see, if we try to install it, -y, that thing, right? It says that the following packages have unmet dependencies, and it says that this library depends on that library, but it's not going to be installed. Try to do that with no packages or specify a solution, and if we do that, all right, it says The following new packages will be installed, this one and this one. So let's say yes. So now in a few seconds these packages should be installed. All right, and now we can go back. We can press up a few times and actually try to install the Debian package of Chrome again, and this time I believe it should work. Should take just a few seconds. So come on. See, it even installed it like sort of partially, as I said, like in the previous time when I installed, in the previous time when I was recording, I actually managed to start Chrome. It's just that I had some weird issues, and then I turned the machine down, and I started it again, and I didn't even have network. It's so weird. Anyway, now it installed properly. So now if we go here and type in Chrome, it will actually be there. And let's put it over here, and let's try starting it. And this is what happens. It wants the password over here to unlock. And default browser. I had some issues in virtual machines with Chrome. It might be related to hardware virtualization. I'm sorry, not hardware virtualization. It might be related to hardware acceleration, which is a checkbox that you can turn off. But I also tried to do that, and it also sometimes it helped, sometimes it didn't. So what I started doing is I stopped using Chrome inside of the virtual machine. But I have a lot of friends who use it, and they don't have these issues. And we're getting some error here. We're just gonna ignore that for now. Just gonna say no, don't send the report. Okay, and this is still the pop-up from Chrome. Make Google Chrome the default browser. I'm sorry, no. Send you the statistic. No, sorry. All right. So it starts normally, and we could sign in. Let me show you the hardware acceleration button. So if we go to settings, and we go to advanced, and we just scroll down, it should be somewhere here. Use hardware acceleration when available. Yeah, just tick it off. Okay, relaunch, and everything is still fine. It wants to be the default. Right, there we go. So everything is fine. And I'm just going to reboot it just to be sure that everything is fine, but everything should be fine. Yeah, so this was the end of this video. I hope you liked it. This was not like a proper configuration tutorial, because like when I did some research for this video, I actually found like a course on Ubuntu which was going like for 8 hours and was explaining like every little detail. This is a channel for software developers, and as a software developer, or even just as a somebody who's just into programming, I want to make these Ubuntu videos as minimal as possible, like as fast as possible, give you like the minimum of what you need to get actually started with programming. Okay, so this is not a DevOps channel or anything. Anyway, I'm talking too much again. It started normally. Let's check for updates. There shouldn't be any updates, but this is a thing that I usually like to do when I launch my machine. In fact, I'm gonna go to settings in a few seconds and disable the automatic updates, because I just have this oh yeah, it is already set. I just have this habit to I start my machine and I go into updates, and sometimes it ends up colliding with the automatic updates, so I don't like that. All right, anyway, this concludes this video. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you did by clicking the famous button, and see you next time.